Sunrise at sea. How I loved it. And it is even better when the destination is my favorite place on this planet, Sardinia. This is going to be my 10th time or so going to this beautiful island. And why it is so beautiful, I will try to show you in this video series. First of all, we got a rental car. We also got to see the most beautiful time of the year, spring. Sardinia welcomed us very warm with colorful animals and plants, and the first way we took was directly to Santa Teresa di Gallura, or Bella Capotesta, right next to it, where there is one of my favorite places on the whole island, Valle della Luna. I have been here plenty of times and I try to visit it pretty much every time that I'm here. Here I've seen the sun getting swallowed by the sea, watched dolphins jumping out of the water just off the coast, and also seen people tripping on really bad stuff. A very interesting fact is that this area is kind of an autonomous zone. People live here in caves and tents. The government knows about it and tolerates it as far as I know. Also, the population here changes often. In summer here are probably a few hundred people, some come for a day or two, some stay for weeks or months. Usually here are only a bunch of people living permanently. The first time I came here I thought it actually looks and sounds like paradise, but after coming here more often I soon realized these people are like most other new age hippies, drunk, drugged and very open-minded as long as you share their and only their opinion. And I don't really get along with them. But that doesn't change the fact that the landscape here in Valle della Luna is just incredible. The crazy stone formations that grow into the sky as well as into the sea are just so amazing, and it doesn't ever get boring to look at them. Also, this area is known for their tortoises, and we were lucky enough to see a shy one of them. I think it is a Greek tortoise. From here you get also one of the best views of Corsica, including the cliffs and the town of Bonifacio on really clear days like this one was.
Buongiorno, it's day 2 of our Sardinia trip and we are in Casteldoria at the Terme di Casteldoria. So actually this is the thermal bath up here. It's closed at the moment. I'm not sure if it actually reopened after the pandemic, but anyway, this is the spring, the public thermal spring. A fun thing about this, I was here about a year ago in winter, like a year and 3 months. The spring was out of the water and the water started like 5 meters down there. Now that it's spring and apparently there were a lot of rainfalls, there is so much water inside and it really looks amazing.
We continued after being refreshed from a warm morning bath through rural Sardinia, and during those drives I often lose my head in the sheer beauty of the simplicity of the life here. And even catch myself thinking for a second or two that this world is a really beautiful place. We also stopped at the petrified trees near Perfugas. Overall, this area, which I didn't know yet, is surprisingly exciting and has so much adventurous to offer, which we realized at our next stop.
So until now, everything we showed you were places where I have been already. But the cool thing on Sardinia is that every time I come here I also explore things that are new for me. Went into a farm kind of. There was a door, but usually if you leave it as you found it, it's not a big problem to cross farmlands here, despite any signs say otherwise. But anyway, down there should be a cave. We're gonna check this one out.
And this is now one of my favorite places of the whole island. After entering the cave we instantly saw this little fella, not knowing that a lot of his homies are going to follow. Also, we tried to keep the noise and light to an absolute minimum and only took photos without flash to keep the stress of the animals to an absolute minimum as well. To be honest, I didn't know how the cave looks like, or if there are many crossroads, or if there is a start and an end, or if we have to return or go through the cave. But no worries, this cave is absolutely safe. We could walk through and there is only one real path high and wide enough for humans to walk or sometimes even crawl through. The only thing is sometimes we stood in about a meter of bad shit, so we tried to avoid the crawling as much as possible. After about 20 minutes we reached a kinda hall, and this is where the most of the bats live. And I think despite our try to be as gentle as possible, they felt a bit disturbed and decided to give us a little show. There were hundreds of bats flying around us. For me this was such an amazing moment. I think I mentioned it before, there are not many things in the world that make me as happy as seeing animals in their natural habitat. and being surrounded by so many of them was really cool. So we could have stayed here for hours, but to give them back their space and tranquility, we moved on after only a couple of minutes. And after crawling through a very narrow section, we already made it out.
We just came out of the cave. Holy shit, this was amazing with all the beds, but it was so crazy, like in this big hall where many of the beds were, they were flying all around us. It was so cool. Anyway, if you also have such encounters with wild animals, try not to stress them. We really kept our time in there to a minimum, and also with the light I had to make pictures and everything because it was so amazing, but really keep noise and light to absolute minimum, that you don't stress them more than necessary.
And because this island is so incredibly rich and diverse in landscapes and habitats, just a few kilometers away we found another place that makes you question if all the stuff you saw within the last 48 hours was on the same island, not even 60 kilometers from each other. This is also the first time for me being here in spring, and I love it. All the plants are blooming, and it's even the beginning of the blooming period for many orchids, and I can't stop admiring their unbelievable beauty. And oh my god, not even a 60-minute drive from here we already reached Capocaccia. Close to Alghero, which is often called Little Barcelona because of its Catalan heritage, this headland has breathtaking cliffs and an amazing and famous cave. This is like the Valle della Luna, a place I visit nearly every time I come here. And it doesn't get boring. It's like coming home and say hi. And then there are the beautiful towns like colorful Bosa. But I think we are getting to the towns in one of the next episodes. Let's focus on the amazing nature for now. Because look at this! Does Sardinia get boring at any time? It doesn't. It just doesn't. This is Sarhitu. I hope the pronunciation is right. In summer, when the water is warm and people are brave enough, this spot is very crowded by cliff jumpers. On our way down the west coast, we saw more and more flamingo colonies. Those are a common sight here. The flamingo species living in Sardinia is the greater flamingo. In Cagliari, the capital, you can find the second biggest colony in Europe. When you are calm and quiet, they also don't really mind your presence. And well, it seems that this time of the year Sardinia turns into a huge zoo. Only in the first 3 days we saw so many animals, like a breeding colony of European shags including their nestlings, the very rare Auduin skull, a load of beautiful jays, a green whip snake, red-legged partridges, shrimps and crabs.
We are already on the Costa Verde. This is I would say the wild west coast of Sardinia. There is still not a lot touristic infrastructure here, and also the streets are pretty wild. Like here, you would have to cross the river if you would want to go there, but this one is actually now pretty deep. A few years back, when I was here with my camper van, I drove through it because it was my car. I didn't care so much, and also in summer there is not so much water. But now with the small rental car, I would just not recommend it. We are now at Le Dune. So this is a sand dune. It's a good example for desertification here in this area. I'm gonna show you. It's really beautiful.
It's also where deserted wasteland and water, fresh and salty, collide. All this makes it such a unique landscape, and I think this is where we're gonna make a cut for now. I hope I kind of were able to give you a feeling for why I love this place and why I keep coming back since years. If you liked the video, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, cause there will be some more videos for sure. Thank you and have a great day. Bye bye.